I'm gonna start this video by saying this isn't your regular fish tank with just slap 3 tempered glass panels on it and be done with it. Because this case has much more than you can actually see, and it's not happening on the front, even though you can see that the top tempered glass is kind of separated with one mesh side and one tempered glass. And the tempered glass goes around the mesh side, so I'm really digging the top panel. This is Lian Li's O11 VISION-M, which means that it supports micro ATX motherboards. It doesn't have support for back connect, but it supports ATX power supplies, it supports 360mm radiators, and it's hidden. The AAO is hidden, the tubes are nicely rerouted, and you have loads of exhaust and intake, which is outstanding. It comes with one 140mm fan, which is non-RGB, placed behind the motherboard socket, which kind of creates additional airflow directly towards it, and that's really good. But it also kind of helps the radiator, because the position of the fan is quite nicely placed, creating an intake from the back side towards the motherboard and towards the AAO. And in that sense, it's well positioned. But that's not all, because right next to it, what you can do is place 2 additional 120mm fans, or if you don't fancy additional intake, because let's be honest, I just went with stock and added these 7 Unifan SL Infinity wireless fans, what you get here is a possibility to place, instead of those 2 fans, storage. So yeah, guys, this is O11 VISION-M, and let's deep dive into this one. So first and most important, we have a couple of versions that you need to know, and I'm gonna say the price right immediately. So we have the VISION-M in black and white. You have the digital version black and white, which comes with 9.2-inch LCD, and you have the 9.2 LCD screen as an optional accessory. The black and white regular version are 69, well, basically the black one is 69.99 and the white version is 74.99, while the digital version is 129.99, while the LCD as an optional accessory is 69.99. Honestly, what I would do is just go with the VISION-M digital, and you have the LCD screen and the case, which is just simply outstanding. Now, going further, this combines quite a lot, and it combines 3 tempered glass side panels, it combines the radiator mounted at the top, ATX power supply storage, loads of intake, and, well, let's be honest, 2 exhaust fans, which is just brilliant. Now, the top glass panel features a vented cutout, as already stated at the beginning, aligning with the radiator at the top, so this gives you an option to have a top exhaust flow with minimizing the heat buildup. Now, the modular divider at the top is removable, which gives you an option to first and foremost have the radiator hidden completely, or just simply have a cleaner separated dual chamber look. But then again, you can open it and have it more like a presentation for the radiator if you have some sick RGB fans. So the position of this is quite crucial. If you place it on top, the possibility is to mount the LCD screen with removing the side steel panel with 2 screws and a peg. So on the right side it's connected with a peg, so it doesn't just fall off while removing those screws. There is also a cool possibility for a 3D printed parts or a mod, whatever you want. So if the divider is removed, Lian Li gives you an option to use their 3D printed parts that fills the space between the AAO fans and the motherboard tray, which eliminates the gap that would otherwise allow visibility through the case. The 3D printed parts are also available on their official website, well, basically on the product page. Now you might be thinking, okay, I want to go with a hydro shift and I want to place it at the back, quite logical because 360 this is the only position where it fits. How am I going to reroute the tubes? Well, first and foremost, you have to remove all the brackets that are holding the tubes at that back side, so you're not going into that segment of 140 white of the radiator, you're going back to 120. This allows you to reroute the tubes, and you have 2 specific mounting positions for the tubes that are rerouted through those. And this basically replaces those original mounting hooks for the tubes right inside the case. And then the tubes go out towards the pump block top. Now, in that sense, what I wanted to say is that you do have to reroute the tubes at the pump block top prior to placing the radiator at the top. And that's basically it. That solves the whole problem with everything. You just place pump block top on the processor and you have everything rerouted. Then you just need to connect the fans, the pump, and depending on what fans and pump you actually have. The pre-installed 140mm AIO assist fan, as they call it, is 140-140-25. It speeds up to 1400 RPMs, from 0 to 1400 RPMs. Airflow is 74.37 CFM, and static pressure is 1.41 millimeters HO, with the noise level at maximum 32.8. So it does help with the AIO getting more air from the back. The cool thing about the case, when you take a look at the back panel, it's almost completely perforated, so the power supply and this fan collect nice fresh air from the backside, giving cooling for the power supply and additional intake for the AIO. Now at the bottom we have a dust filter that is quite easily removable, and you can pull it out completely, clean it up, place it back in. You have two screws right here at the bottom that remove the tray for the bottom intake fans, and then you can mount the fans and place it back in. So two screws here on the side. The side panel isn't removable when we're talking about mounting fans, but honestly it's not even important. Now going further, the side tempered glass is removed with thumb screw and magnetic attached to that triangle at the top. Then we have these two thumb screws that remove the top tempered glass and mesh panel, which gives you an access to the top panel, which is holding the radiator. So you can remove that as well, mount it on the radiator, place it back inside, which is outstanding. And we have pegs on the back side panel, which is also easily removable. You don't have to worry about any additional screws or anything similar to that. And finally, when we take a look at the 140mm fan at the back again, the whole tray that holds either that fan, SSDs, or whatever you want to go at the back with that, you have 4 screws that need to be removed to be able to remove it. This actually allows you to easily do the cable management, because you have to do it, the tubes and the cable management, so that fan doesn't rattle around with the cables inside of it. And one more thing that is also removable, since it's a smaller chassis, and you saw this, let's call it a mechanism that they did, you have 4 screws to remove the tray for the power supply. So at first I removed it, placed it on the power supply, placed the power supply back in with that tray or a bracket. And the good thing, the panel is so close, so it doesn't create that empty space between the back side panel and the power supply mesh part. So this is really good, because in that sense the fan can collect air from the back side quite easily without any problems. Now this is a 3-slot GPU PNY RTX 5080, and it sags only just by a bit, but for some of you guys that really want to have your perfect build in such a, let's say, open visual aspect case, you would definitely want that GPU leveled up. So it has a quite nice and subtle anti-sag bracket that doesn't touch the fan. It touches just the proper amount of the GPU, so it doesn't interlock with the fan, and it's leveled in 2 positions, so you can rotate it left and right just to give, if for some strange reason it actually touches the fan, just to rotate it a bit. And at the back you have a thumb screw again, which can give you an option to level it up or down depending on the thickness of the GPU. So you're good to go with that as well. Now for the compatibility. So the cooling support at the top, what you can do is 3 120mm fans, or 240 or 360 radiator with maximum thickness up to 57mm. The back side can accommodate 2 120mm fans for the exhaust, the bottom 3 120 and the side 2 120. At the back you can go with pre-installed 140 and additional 2 120 if you desire to get more intake for the AIO. Hardware compatibility, we're having CPU cooler height maximum at 162, the GPU is maximum at 410, and it supports mini ITX and micro ATX motherboards. For the power supply, it supports ATX power supply, but up to 182mm. The back side is really quite easy to do the cable management, because you have 8 cable type points, which means that you have Velcro straps, 3 wide ones, which are located at the back side on the left side, and 2 narrow ones, and then you have the AIO tube clips. You have 2 of those, and at the bottom you have additional type points, which you can reroute the cables and do whatever you wish. Now, since I gave you all the details why O11 Vision-M isn't your regular fish tank with 3 tempered glass panels, now it's time to check out how it performs. Because when you take a look at it, it kind of is, well, I wouldn't say worrying. I would just say, you have 2 intake fans on the side, 3 at the bottom, which kind of mainly go towards the GPU, and that's quite interesting. And you have 2 exhaust fans right here, but there's another catch with that 140 intake fan at the back, and then completely separated AIO compartment. Now, checking out O11 Vision-M in AIDA64 Extreme Edition with HydroShift 2 LCD-C 360CL, we're having AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D going at 79 degrees. That's second position in all my benchmarks. Clock speed is 4775 MHz, which is sadly below average, so I don't know what happened in this scenario. But then moving forward with the GPU, because we're doing the case this time, this GPU, as you know, usually runs at 64, 65. Now it runs on 60 with idle at 26 degrees. And going with Cinebench scores, taking 10 runs on average with thermals that end up at 74.7 degrees. That's first position at this stage. And then we have clock speed with 4988, which is slightly above average. And finally, the score is just slightly above my past benchmarks. For the HydroShift 2 LCD-C 360CL, 26,749. That's 30 Cinebench points above the past review that I did specifically for this AIO. So when you take into consideration, you're getting a much smaller case, much compact case, the divided compartment for the AIO, and you would presume you might get slightly lower benchmark scores or anything similar to that. But in this sense, it's so nicely designed that all this airflow coming here, it's just to cool the GPU, eventually create maybe potentially some intake here because you have an opening here at the bottom. But then again, you have an intake from the back, giving it quite nice fresh air towards the AIO and still getting a bit of a boost in performance. I'm not gonna say, extreme performance boost. No, it isn't. It's just slightly. But when you shrink down the case and, you would expect a bit lower performance, it's slightly above. And that's actually huge when you think about it. So yeah, I hope you understood this philosophy that I did here right at the end of this video. But in general, I'm quite satisfied with this case. And to be honest, I really did dig the O11 Vision, which was the original one in collaboration with PCMR. But this one I prefer better. It's not that it's widely different, that it doesn't have that modularity that the O11 Vision had, but in that sense, I'm still digging this case. It's compact, it has the 360 radiator, you have loads of intake fans, 2 exhaust fans still in this configuration, and potentially in the second compartment you can add more fans for more intake, because let's be honest, if you don't fancy going with 2.5-inch SSDs or 3.5-inch hard drives in your PC, you can always pump up those M.2 slots if you go with a proper mATX motherboard. So yeah, PC Crazy creative badge with this one, because they took this case into another level with shrinking it down. So that's a bit strange, but quite positive strangeness, I would say. So guys, yeah, that's it. O11 Vision-M, black, white, digital, whatever you want to go, and a separated 9.2-inch LCD display, which everything is in the description below, so you can check it out. So do tell me, is this triple tempered glass case with smaller footprint better or worse than the original O11 Vision? And did they make something different in your opinion? Do let me know in the comments, and that'll be all for today. Thank you for checking out the video. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell. I'll see you quite shortly in a new one. Bye.